starting recording. You should see the sign, and let's start with our webinar. So you could see my presentation, I hope.
Yes,
And
we can. Yes, we can.
Great. I will start with the info about our webinar. I would like to welcome you again and thank you for joining our webinar. The main aim is to disseminate and information about our project, which is called Vital in short, and the full name is a modular VR and AR-based educational toolkit to help EU adults foster climate neutral practices. As the project is going to finish in August, we now have some outcomes, and we would like to inform you about the outcomes as we think and hope that they could help a little to the environmental discussions and to change our practices. That's the main aim of our project. The structure will be following. I'm very glad to have my project partners also together with me in the webinar. So I will start with a short introduction about our project. Then we will have information about Green Deal, about some climate issues.
We have an ice cream.
Sorry, I can hear somebody. So if you want to ask, please ask. Otherwise, okay, no question. Okay, let's follow. So then we'll get some info about the structure of our course, structure of our LMS system, then about the features of augmented reality in our case studies, and then about learning paths and activities that may be connected when learning about this topic. And in the end, we will introduce our toolkit, which is a set of materials prepared for trainers to use them and to adapt them according to their own needs. So let's proceed to informations about our project, some basic information. I have already mentioned the title of our project, both the full and short title. The main source of information about our project, about outcomes, is our website, which is kindly maintained by our Maltese partners. The address is vital.eumecb.com. As you can see a part of screenshot of our website, and you will get info later on. We have also our Facebook page and LinkedIn group. So these are all linked together, and you can find information about our project and outcomes there. Namely, on the website, you will find the outcomes freely available. We work as a set of 7 partners. I represent Palacký University Faculty of Science as a Czech participant who serves as a coordinator of this project. Then we have another Czech partner, Lipka, which is one of the oldest environmental organization which concentrates on environmental education. Then we have a Spanish partner, Inertia Digital, an Andalusian VAT company which concentrates on innovation and building digital skills. We have also Istanbul Valigi as the highest administrative authority in Istanbul, as a big city, really big agglomeration. We have a CAMIS Center of the Technical University of Bucharest, one of the largest universities in Eastern Europe and largest technical university in Romania, also concentrating on digital skills, innovation. Then we have our Maltese partner, MECB, which is a multidisciplinary center of excellence and innovation, which also builds on digital skills, design, and similar topics, and a social enterprise Druzostolida from Greece, which also works with education of various groups of people and with various topics like social topics, environmental topics, and digital skills. So we think, and we already thought in the time of application that this is a really good working and interesting mixture of expertise and backgrounds of partner organization. This is also a picture with our distribution. So as we said, the main outcome is a digital toolkit, which means the set of materials which will be introduced later on. And our aim is to reach European adults because our projects belongs to the Erasmus Plus partnerships for adult education. So we concentrate on adult learners, trainers, stakeholders to provide them with materials. What is innovative and interesting, we think, with our materials prepared is that they are modular. So the trainers can use or learners can use only a part of them according to their needs, or they can mix them according to their needs. They are also enriched with augmented reality content, especially our case studies. We provide also some guiding materials for the trainers, like especially trainer's guide, and then some methodological material like learning paths, skill metrics, discussion of competencies, and so on. So it's provided not just like a raw materials with information, but also as support for trainers to use them and to modify them according to our needs. And of course, we had a lot of interactions, learning interactions and discussions when we were working on those materials, which are summarized here. So just about the priorities, our project is trying to meet or face two priorities, and that's the climate change and the adaptation to that and things around that, and then digital transformation in the adult education sector. So that's an innovative, we think, and special combination and connection. We are trying to follow some aims like use activity-based learning methodology to stimulate critical thinking, not just to make learners to take information they see, but think about them and to connect them with their knowledge. And of course, as I mentioned already, we would like to stimulate trainers to create their own materials because the topic is, of course, very wide. It cannot be covered completely. So we hope that there will be trainers and people who will work with materials and adopt them, complement them with their own experiences, information, and so on. We will talk about case studies which bring some augmented reality as a technology which may bring attention and improve the acceptation, motivation of learners to learn new information. So our materials are enriched with this, and of course, our activities or suggested activities are connected with not only building digital skills, but also with group learning, work-based learning, and this things. Of course, we are, as most of the partners are interested in innovation and further development, we are trying to meet some actual trends in education, like environmental sustainability education, digital literacy and tech skills, technology integration, digitalization, online, mobile, and blended learning. You will be informed about our online LMS system with the learning materials. And of course, we expect that the topic like climate change is a part of lifelong learning. It's not a topic that can be covered just at the moment, that it will develop with new information, with changes, and so on. And of course, we are trying to integrate also soft skills like group work, discussion, cooperation, and so on. So just a list part of the competences we try to meet in our materials. The emphasized are digital skills, environmental and critical thinking, understanding to climate change impacts, adaptability to tech changes, which is connected also with other topic like industry 5.0 and so on. So this is my last slide for the intro, because I was already talking that we prepared some supporting materials like trainer's guide. So just to give you an idea, what can you find in the trainer's guide, which described also our motivation that we were talking about. And then information about Green Deal, about our toolkit and LMS, about activity-based learning, AR technology, and possible learning paths and case studies. So this is everything you can find in more details than we are talking now in our user's guide. So that is for a while everything for me. And now I would like to ask Sophia to continue with an information about EU Green Deal and climate changes. Please.
Thank you so much, dear Lucas. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Good. I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Great, great. Well, thank you for taking the time to participate in this interesting webinar in the presentation of our project. I'm not going to take a long chunk of your time. Just to talk a little bit about the EU Green Deal, the climate change. I'm representing Drosostalida, which is a social enterprise in Athens, Greece. So why is the EU Green Deal so important? We're talking right now about the green and the digital transition, and the green transition is something that reflects upon every part of our lives, whether we are working in industry, where we're in education, as natural persons. So the European Union came up with this EU Green Deal, trying to make Europe the world's first climate neutral continent. So it's a policy, it's a framework, it's an initiative which is launched by the Union to make Europe the first climate neutral continent by 2050. And that means that in this framework, there are a lot of different steps, a lot of instructions, a lot of guidelines that are given in, on different levels, state level, and on different sectors. Basically, what it does is it wants to address all the challenges of climate change and degradation, the environmental degradation, while promote the economic growth and improve the life quality of its citizens. And of course, trying to do so, we're trying also to lay the grounds for Europe to become the first continent and give way to the rest of the world to follow. So what does it mean when we're talking about the EU Green Deal? What does it really mean? It means we do have some main categories. So basically it is that we need to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. We need to separate economic growth from resource use, protect and restore biodiversity, promote and sustain agriculture and food systems, and support for the just transition, which means going over to the green economy. And as Lucas said, the climate change is lifelong learning. We need to start thinking about how our actions impact the environment, society. We need to start think about all this in order to start a new trend in education and try to horizontally and transversally integrate training and learning resources dealing with the Green Deal, the EU Green Deal, so that we can slowly start adapting to it and change our behaviors. And we need to increase environmental and sustainability education, because the climate change is real. And going through, I'm not going to go through all these different categories in detail. You can find more information in our courses and in our training guide, but we need to understand how our actions impact everything, how small changes can put a little stepping stone towards this transformative policy framework. If you consider the EU Green Deal, and if we should describe it in just one sentence, it basically targets environment, economy, and social dimension to create a sustainable and resilient future for Europe. So we do have national goals, we have European goals, we have sectoral goals that we're trying to reach. So why do we need to inform adults about the EU Green Deal? So we need to European citizens have to put efforts on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Yeah, and that means promoting sustainable practices. In our Vital course, you can find different case studies. You will see different good practices, and you can learn from it and try to adopt slowly and change behaviors. We need to strengthen the knowledge, because the more we know, the more we can change, or the more we can move towards that change. And that is specifically important for the Vital target groups, which are the trainers, the adult trainers. We need to inspire for innovation, because learning about it, practicing it might inspire more innovation. And of course, we need to educate for future generations. And not just about increasing the environmental awareness, but changing our behaviors obviously changes and builds resilient skills. It is important because doing everything or trying to reach these goals or trying to change our behavior or moving towards working towards climate change and the negative footprints, we need to pressure for better public education. We can pressure political groups and change policies, but we can also inspire for innovation, research, development, use of renewable energy sources, energy efficiency, more environmental friendly technologies to reach carbon neutrality. So the need for training is that we can foster a culture of environmental responsibility by educating adults about the importance of energy efficiency, sustainable transport, and renewable energy sources. Going through our Vital course, you will see that perhaps this sounds a little bit too formal, but small changes and learning about it, becoming multipliers of this knowledge will help and will move towards this goal. It is important that the general education on climate change continues, because it impacts so many different aspects of our life, health, economy, ecosystem. It's a consequence of action. So how we can change that, and obviously how we can move towards this climate neutral goal of 2050. As much as possible, we need to collaborate, we need to be collective in our efforts, and to work towards a more sustainable Europe. I hope you will go through the Vital training course, the Vital resources, the toolkit. Everything is collected there in different languages, and I hope you will find it interesting to go through. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophia, for this information. And now I would like to ask Rocio to introduce our LMS system and modules covered by this. So please.
Yes, I'm going to share. Okay, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So, well, hello everyone. My name is Rocío. I work as a project coordinator for Inercia Digital. And in this case, in this project, among other tasks, our main task has to create the learning, the educational platform seeing right now. As you can see, we have our course available in a total of 6 different languages. You can just give a second. You can access I'm going to put it in English first of all. Okay, right now it's in English. You can access it in different ways. If you look at the upper right corner, it says login. And if you log in, you can do it with Google, which means you don't have to, you can enter without having to put your email or creating a password, which is the quickest way. You can also access as a guest, which is this option. And if you do it, I'm going to go into the English course. The only difference is that you can see the course, you can see the content that we have created for the project, but you cannot enroll in the course, okay? guests, as you can see, it says guests cannot access this course. You can also see what it is inside the platform, but you cannot access it. So I'm going back. And the last option is to create a new account if you don't have it. In this case, you will have to enter all your information, all your password, email address, your country, the country you are from. So now I'm going to get inside because, of course, I also have a user. If you go inside, the first thing you will see is all the modules that we have created for the course. But before all this, before going into the modules, you will see students will see an evocation survey, which is basically a survey to get to know yourself a bit more. It's a self-reflection about your knowledge about the topic of the course. Okay. I am going to open one of the modules in here, for example, module 2. Okay. If we module 2, okay. Well, and pop up a box which tells you that if you haven't finished your module and you left it, you can continue in the point you left the day before or the last time you enter. So in this case, I'm going to press no so we can see it from the very beginning. And here's the module. You can go over each of the slides. If you don't want to see it from the very beginning, you can also go to the slide you want. Here you'll see all the slides with the title, so you can go to the one you prefer. And I'm going to exit here. And the purpose is that after you see each of the modules, you will find a survey for you to, and in order to see what you have learned from that module, okay, is a questionnaire. You will be able to send it and see your punctuation after you finish. And basically, that's it. After there's a total of 7 modules with different topics. And after you complete all the modules, you will have a final survey, which is also a self-reflection in comparison to the first one you did before you started the course. Hopefully, your answers will be different from the first ones because you will have acquired some knowledge about this topic, about the vital course. And basically that's it. You also have more options in the header, like settings. You will be able to change your settings. You will be able to see all the participants that have enrolled in the courses. And that's basically after you finish your course, you will have okay, and that's all. That's all I can say when it comes to our vital education platform. You will I haven't told you this. You will be able to access the platform from the toolkit that you will see later, or just basically by writing down the address on any searching engine. The address, I don't know if you can see the address of the platform. It's here. It's e-vital.inerciadigital.com. If you write down that, you get access to the platform directly. And I think that's it from my side.
Okay, thank you very much. Now it's again my short term to start to introduce a little bit augmented reality feature. Augmented reality is included in our case studies. It's a so-called mark-based augmented reality because it's connected with a mark. In a few, I think in 2 case studies, there is a QR code. Otherwise, it's a ZAP-R mark. We use basically those 2 available tools. ZAP-R is mostly used tool, and the application to view the content is freely available, and then XR Plus is available via just browser, up-to-date browser you have. So ZAP-R is, as I said, the environment used to build the augmented reality. It has an advantage that you have a time-limited access where you can try to play with it and to find out whether it suits to you or not suits to you. Then you may decide if you pay for an access to create longer lasting features, elements of augmented reality, or to find something different. But that it's very convenient way thing. And if you go to their pages, you can find also an instructive videos how to do, how to enroll, and so on. I will try to stop the sharing now, and what I will try to show you are the case studies. These are basically 2 pages. Leaflets, we created 14 of them on various topics. I have here, for instance, a topic: using green energy at home helps reduce human carbon footprint. Here I have reduced carbon footprint by minimizing food waste. And now I will try to show you how it works basically in that. So we have them in all 6 languages. You can use them in those language modifications. And now with my tablet, as you can see, so I can put the case study. I can put my tablet here, which is now seen. Okay, it's quite difficult to see it. And now you should see on the tablet a content which is that. And this is a video about ecotourism. If I turn it back, and of course, we have also the links for the project website and with the information about. The back side of the case studies usually contains some quiz, which is connected to, composed with pictures. So in this case, I will try again to rescan the code. Now I have this as a code, and I can take a test. So I may put to choose the elements. Oh, sorry, it's probably not so working ideally in my camera. So now you could see the elements, and I can choose my answers. So whether this activity is environmental friendly, and it confirms me with the tick that yes, my choice was okay. So this is just a little bit attempt to show you how this simple features forces. Now we come to some methodological content like learning passes. So I would like to ask Fatma to introduce this part, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Fatma from Governorship of Istanbul. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. So I will be presenting you some parts of our second project result. It is called Learning Paths. This activity consists of two documents. The first one was skills matrix, and the second one was learning paths. In the skills matrix, we have made an analysis about the skills targeted for the trainers, adult trainers, and also for adult learners. And we have defined 29 skills on digitalization and climate change in general. Among these skills, 5 of them were for adult learners and 23 of them for adult trainers. As for the learning paths, as it was presented to you, we have created 5 modules in this project. And the first one was the introductory module, and then came the next 5 modules. And for these modules, we have created learning paths. These learning paths were targeted to the adult learners. And they can learn better the training modules by following the steps defined in these learning paths. And here you can see the names of the learning paths: climate neutral activities work, climate neutrality and carbon footprint, climate policy, EU Green Deal, Industry 4.0. And all these skills metrics and the learning paths are available in all partners' languages: in English, Czech language, Turkish, Spanish, Romanian, and in Greek. Now I will be showing you the documents themselves. They can be reached through the project platform. As you can see here, you can find the first result, and from the toolkit part, you can reach the other project results. And here you see the language sections. I go to the English version, and here you can see all the project results available. I will be presenting you the skills metrics and the learning paths. Here is the skills matrix. As you can see, we have defined a lot of skills in this document. This document is useful for the adult trainers because it can help them how to improve these skills in the adults while they are teaching. For example, we can see the second skills. It's called climate neutrality. The competence defined is understanding climate neutrality. As an example, activity example, carbon footprint assessment is recommended here. Here we have a suggested assessment: evaluate completed carbon footprint assessments. And here we can see some instructions for the trainers while they are implementing this kind of activities. As a training delivery, they are suggested to implement workshop style training with interactive discussions and hands-on activities. As an assessment activity, they can conduct a carbon footprint assessment and assess the accuracy of calculations. And in the last column, you can see how we relate these skills to into our project. For example, if you can check module 1 and module 2, you can see how to improve this climate neutrality by learning these modules. And besides, you can see some more additional links, and the trainers can use these links while teaching. And as a learning path example, for example, this learning path is created for module 6, and this is called Navigating the Path to Climate Neutrality. Here we have defined the objectives and we have described the activity itself. And by following these steps, the learners can improve their skills better and easily. This is like a guide for learners. That's all about my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Fatma. And now we are coming to some what could be said as a summary, because Jonathan is maintaining our website and toolkit, which contains all the materials and outcomes freely available. So I would ask Jonathan to introduce this part, please.
I think it will be permission, but I cannot share. Okay,
Sorry.
I can share now. I think that was Fatma. Okay, now. Okay. So share screen and share and share. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Can you see? Okay. Okay. So as my colleague Lucas just explained, I will take you to the toolkit and the web page, which is probably the most important part of it. Of course, it gives you access to the all information and resources presented by my colleagues earlier. For those that don't know me, I'm Jonathan Borg from MECB in Malta. Okay, so to access the web page, it's very simple. This is the actual URL. You can also take a screenshot over there if you want of that QR code, so that later on you can experiment a bit. So it's either to that URL or to the QR code. What I will do now is I'll just present a few slides to give you an overview, but then we'll do a very quick live demo together. Okay, so once you are actually entering the URL and go to the web page, you'll land on this page, which of course is a typical web page providing some information. There are some menu contents over there, so just for you to see, I just enlarged them over there. So the usual stuff about the project, the partners, the results. In our case, there's also the toolkit, news of what happened, useful links related to climate change, and of course, contacts you need to contact one of us. The toolkit, you don't have to stay remembering any real other URLs, because all you need to do is remember the URL of the project web page. That should be enough, or the previous QR code I gave you, because once you're there, you also have access to the toolkit over here. Okay, so that makes it easy for you to actually access the actual content. And if I had to actually press on the toolkit, you will land in this page where you'll see the partner languages. The toolkit is, of course, available not in all languages, but in the project partner languages, which you see over there. We have English, Czech, Turkish, Greek, Romanian, and Spanish languages. And of course, once you click on one of those languages, you'll get access to the toolkit content in that language. So, for example, if I go on the English version, you get access to the results of it. So, we have the curriculum, the e-learning content, which we have seen by Rocia before, skills matrix, AR case studies, which were also mentioned by Lucas, trainer's guide, learning parts, and also the full repository. The idea of providing the repository is that as a project, Erasmus encourages us to share the raw content, which means you can use the content, you can customize the content, it's freely to use, of course, subject that you acknowledge that it has been developed initially by the Vital project. There's some detail over here of how you can actually make use of that content. Okay, so let's go to now a live demo. So we'll actually, it's over here. Just preloaded that. So let's remove that one. So once you load, okay, this is what you should be seeing on your web page. You can scroll, of course. You have the options over here. So if I go on results, you get the key results, which you can open directly as results, not in their raw format. We have the toolkit, which we'll see in a while. And for instance, the trainer's guide. Let's take the trainer's guide as an example. It comes either as a PDF version. So if you click on PDF, you'll get that PDF version, which you can, of course, click and actually jump into different sections as required. Or you can also get the flipping version, just to allow people to use what they prefer. Okay, so you can get also the flipping version of the, for instance, trainer's guide. So from there, as you can see, from our webpage, you can get access to that content. But the main result is, as we said before, is the toolkit itself, which you can either access through here under results or directly from there. Let me just take this option from your own purpose. So once you go on toolkit, as I explained previously, you have these languages, and I will select, of course, the English language for this webinar. So it's over there. And from here, again, you can actually choose. So you can get access to the curriculum. And of course, you click that. On top, as you can see, we purposely open different tabs so that people can actually switch from one tab to the other if they require to do so. You can, of course, scroll the content, etc., etc. Similarly, can I get access to, for instance, the, I don't know, AR case studies, which were mentioned before by Lucas. So if you click on case studies, you can get the PDF versions, and you can, of course, scroll down to choose which one you'd like to open. I don't know if I just take that one and you get that. You can, of course, also download to follow the, let me say, case study using your AR app. There are instructions of how to do it directly on the flyer. Anyway, so if I go back then, again, on the toolkit, we have other things like the trainer's guide again, learning paths, and of course the repository. And for educators, the repository is useful because it gives access to download the raw content, which you can therefore use and modify for your own purposes. There's also, I don't know, the trainer's guide, there's the AR case studies, etc., etc. So this is where you can find the raw resource. Of course, in the trainer's guide, so in the toolkit, you get access to all the others depending on the icon you select. So again, if I press Vital e-training, I will go directly to what Rosia was actually showing us before, to the e-learning content. And once in there, can of course proceed accordingly. So I think this is a very brief overview of how you can easily get access to content. Of course, the web page has other information, such as the objectives of the project, information about the partners. If you need to contact any of the partners, you can do so, because there are direct links over here. News of the activity that has been going on throughout the project lifetime, if you're interested to know of how we develop the content over the months. But also importantly, under the news section here, you find this link here on how to create AR content. So those of you who are interested in creating their own AR content using, for instance, Zapworks, there's a link over there. Let me just zoom a bit more. There's a link over there which opens up a detailed YouTube video to create AR content. And this hopefully makes it also useful for you to follow up. So I think I can stop over there and pass on back to Lucas to conclude this webinar. In your good hands, Lucas.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. And I would like to thank, first of all to all my presenting colleagues for their presentation and support. And as Jonathan already said, we came to the end of our webinar. We have presented, I think, all the information we would like to. So now it's time for your questions, comments, if there are some. So, okay, I can't see Anne. So in that case, thank you very much for participating this webinar. Have a nice day. And for the guests, I would like to invite you to come to our webpage and to check the resources. So, goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for participating. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.